15 seconds or so on ServerVault. We are a hosting company by definition, but that's really where the differences between us and other commercial hosting companies end. We basically oriented the entire company to serve federal agency requirements. So the way we built the facility, the way we staff it, policies and procedures, tools and technologies, everything we do is aligned to a superset of federal agency requirements. FSMA, DISCAP, DIACAP, the alphabet soup is our gospel. It's what we drive our day-to-day business on. So how's that relevant here? Potentially a foundation by which federal clouds can be extended, but let me put it out there, there are a lot of very interesting companies represented, a lot of very interesting products, technologies. We're looking to solve this problem in a broader way than just what ServerVault provides. The agency need is there. It's nascent. But we're hoping that this CloudCamp results in some mutual benefit, not just for the agencies represented, but folks who could put together a solution with us. We're talking to a lot of agency folks, and the need is out there as far as at least wanting to know more. Cloud has got a buzz, but what's in a name? You talk to an agency, and there are technology guys, and there's guys like me, business guys, the business development guys, and the marketing guys, and they say, well, what does this thing do for me? That's as zealot as we can be on the technology side. Is it that I can take my infrastructure today that's 20% utilized and drive more value out of it? Or is it I take my infrastructure, move it somewhere else, and have it managed in a software as a service? Or is it I've got an application and I can only satisfy so much need when there's surge, I need buffer, I need room. Can cloud help me with any of these things? And the answer, of course, is yes, yes, and yes. It's the context that's key. So we've got a nascent understanding out there. A lot of folks, even the MIT guys back there, said they want to understand what it is. And we need to help translate the value into real situations and help them transition from where they are to where they can realize the benefit. The keys to adoption, they want it easy. And they want it, especially on the first iterations, to work. They want it to realize some of the benefits. So positive early experiences, incremental steps, this is what these guys are wanting. It's not take my data center and cloudify it. That's just not in the cards. What is take one piece, prove it to me, and let's grow this over time in a sensible way. And Kevin mentioned it before. This is, let me put the intersection out there for discussion in the various cloud rooms. The key dilemma is cloud is very nimble. It's very fluid. It's amorphous. Deliberately so. Government IT infrastructure is defined by boundaries. I need to know who's got access to it, who's touching it, where it went, where the data resides, and that's not necessarily consistent with cloud. So can the two worlds merge? Yes, but in a very measured, disciplined, and progressive way, and that's where we have to chart that path in ServerVault's view. It represents change. A lot of change has come to the political spectrum and potentially will over the next couple of years. So we have to embrace and adopt that as a new way of doing things, but staying true to what the legacy important elements are. How am I doing on time? 1 minute. So first, we got to define, go back to basics. There are a lot of, it's a fishbowl in here, a lot of very smart people, a lot have been living in the cloud for a long time. Let's go back to step one. What is it? How does it help? Where is and isn't it applicable? Let's get some boundaries again. So set some expectations of how some initial steps can be initiated. And I didn't see a lot of .orgs in here. Saw some .govs. .coms, we need to chart a path with the government to show them how they can modify their procurement vehicles and their budget process. There needs to be reform in that respect so that the government can effectively buy it. And that takes a long time before the actual RFP comes out. A lot of challenges. Tim touched on these. Budgetary, technical compliance. It's a whole movement that we're taking some initial steps, and it's good that we're having forums like this to move the ball forward even further and faster. ServerVault's pitch, we want to leverage our niche position, that we've got a commercial entity that's delivering in a federally compliant way. We don't solve the whole problem. We solve part of the problem. You got to stay flexible and be goal-oriented. Government wants to pin us down as a group to say, what are you going to get me? How are we going to measure it? And how are we going to define the victory conditions at the end of this mini macro exercise that we're going to jointly engage in? And this thing's too big, it's too ill-defined, can't solve it all, no matter how big a company you are. And there's some large system integrators here that are represented. Got a partner. That's our approach. That's what I'm recommending for everybody in this room to jointly and openly collaborate today so that we can progress together.